Okay, I just want to take a second and go over some of the main features on the website, and in particular the ones that are going to be most relevant for you as an instructor in setting up the course. So here I am on the home page, and I'm going to go to the login screen and put in my super secret password and click login. Okay, so now I'm on the admin dashboard, and this is what you'll use to administer and manage all the aspects of the course. So let's suppose that I just got my admin password or key and I want to set up my course. Then I can go to create section and fill in my info. So term and year, fall 2019, that looks good. Put in the 5-digit CUNY course number that's associated with the course. Enter the rough number of students that are going to be in the section. So it's very easy to add or remove students later, but this will just generate a number of passwords that you can use right away. So let's say I expect to have about 10 students. Click submit, and if all goes well, you'll see this screen which says new section created. And the section number 65843, that's the one we just created. And here are the 10 passwords that go with that section. So these passwords are all that your students will need to get into the website and to submit responses to the homework assignments. So it's up to you how you want to distribute these keys. In the past, what I've done is usually just email each student individually after the first day of class, just so they have a little bit of context about what the password is and how they're going to use it. So yeah, but it's up to you how you want to handle that. So now that we've got these keys, we can go to the roster and select your course. So I've got a lot of these, but in your case there'll probably just be one, at least to start. So select your course, and you'll see the roster for the course that we just created. These are all the passwords that we just created. And I want to mention that we don't store any of the students' identifying information on the server. So these keys are the only thing that we store on the server. So if you want to give names to the students, you can use this screen to save the names. You can go ahead and fill out some names, and these names will be saved on your machine as soon as you fill them out, but only on your machine. So as I said, these names don't get sent to the server, so you won't have access to them on another computer, or if you clear your cache, they'll be gone. So I wouldn't recommend using this screen as like the sole source of information about which student has which password. Probably best to keep that in a spreadsheet or something like that. But what you can do is, if you want, like as soon as you create your course, just come here, fill out the names, and then at the bottom you have the option to download a CSV file, which we can open up right now. And this will actually have a spreadsheet of the names and passwords. So in case that's helpful. Alright, so now we've got the roster, we've assigned some names, so we can go to the grade section. Again, select the course, and here you'll see all of the users and names that we just created, right? And these are their homework scores. So these represent each in a different homework assignment. At the moment, these are just kind of random identifiers, so I'll be sure to update this heading to be actually something more informative information. But each of these is a different homework assignment, and these are each student's score on the homework assignments. Obviously, so far, none of the students have done any of the work, so it's all 0. Finally, in course settings, if you go to your section, you will see a list of the problem sets as well as the due dates. So the way it's set up now is as soon as you create a section, it will automatically be associated with each of the problem sets and assign a due date. The due date will be automatically by default the time and date that you created the section. So as soon as you create the section, then the assignments will already be due. So you'll need to set these ahead of time if you want your students to be able to interact with the homework assignments. We have an extra one here. I'll make sure to get rid of that. So on this screen, let's see what we want to do. Let's set problem set number 2. Let's go ahead and change the date on that. So I'm going to set the date to be a week from now on the 29th. And then click submit, and this should update. Okay, if any of this doesn't work or it seems like it's getting stuck, I recommend just refreshing the page. Sometimes the server seems to get kind of sleepy. So just try that and hopefully it will work. If not, feel free to contact me. But in this case it did work, so you can see problem set 2 is now due on the 29th. Alright, so that's basically the core functionality that you'll need from an instructor's point of view. Let's just go ahead and validate that this actually works as intended. So I'm going to go back to the roster. And I'm going to grab Alice's key here, copy it, log out. Now I'm going to log in as Alice. So I recommend creating like an extra student key for your section, and you can use that key to log in as a student, and then if your students tell you that like they can't submit something or something's not working, it could be helpful to log in as a student and be able to see whether things are working for you or not. So let's now go to the problem sets. If we go to problem set 1, we'll see this is already past due because it was set to be due right upon creation. However, if we go to problem set 2, we'll see that the due date is the 29th, so that's great. Alright, so now we can fill out all these problems. Let's just put some answers here. Click submit. Okay, and you'll see the current score gets set to 6. Current score is always the most recently submitted score, and best score obviously is the top score that the user has submitted before the due date. So if we change this, then the score decreases, but the best score remains the same. And you can see that the incorrect responses are highlighted in red, and the correct responses don't have any highlighting. So this can be used for the students to identify which questions they need to revisit. I can reset the responses here to start fresh, and let's just refresh for a second. If I come back and I want to pick up my progress, or if the student wants to refresh their best response, say in preparation for an exam, then they can click Restore Best Response, and you'll see that the highest score response that we had is restored. Okay, so that is the core functionality from the instructor's point of view, and a little bit about how it looks from a student's point of view as well. I guess maybe the final step would be to log in again as the instructor. Go to the grades, and you can see that Alice's score has been recorded here. And then at the end of the semester, if you like to have this in a spreadsheet format, again, there's a button down here to download a CSV file of these scores.